and welcome back to Project 944. We're once again here at LUDEN Automotive, and today, well, potentially, we may have a startup engine. We've got Perkins in the background with his lovely broom of destiny, and we've got Jared here behind the camera. So today we've got a plethora of things we're going to be doing. We're going to be finally doing the temperature sensor on the radiator, so no more overheating, fingers crossed. We've got some bleeding to do on the clutch and the brakes. We've got to re-oil the panel filter for the air box, and then maybe, if we get some time, we'll do the gearbox oil as well. So, without further ado, let's get to work. First up, bleeding the clutch system. Now, to bleed the clutch system, we bought a rather clever little device called an Easy Bleed, which you can hook up to the system with air pressure and it will bleed the system automatically for you. Fantastic if you're going to be doing system bleed solo. Naturally, we needed a source of compressed air, so Jared popped outside and grabbed his MR2's spare wheel to use.
Bloody hell, that's freaking... I was just about to say, that is so hard. Hello. That is like... Yeah. I'm doing my nipple. Oh, my nipple's falling over there.
Where's your nipple gone?
There it is.
You got your nipple?
Yep.
Oh, lovely.
Nipple.
Monsieur Jerry.
Monsieur.
The drain of life.
The drain, the Tropicana drain screw of life.
We are fully qualified professionals.
What are you going to be doing today?
Playing with nipples.
Playing with nipples.
Yeah, many nipples. Nipple cover.
Hooking up a bleed tube to the slave cylinder is fairly simple, albeit a little bit fiddly. But we managed and we were almost ready. Certainly exciting stuff.
The secret is to get someone else to do the work for you.
Yeah.
Look confused.
Yes.
No, she's going to go on there, isn't she? Yeah. Alright, that's the right one.
I'll do.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to need to...
expand the nipple.
expand it.
We were now ready to bleed the system with juice bottle in hand.
This is going to be the most delicious Tropicana product on the planet. 100%.
You're endorsing Tropicana?
No, well, Tropicana clutch fluid, I am, with a bit of orange juice in it. Just excited and ready for it to go.
Really?
That's a horrifying angle, I can already tell.
Here he goes.
Oh, here we go.
A little bit of...
A little bit of Monica in my life. That's how we avoid copyright. Sing it ourselves.
There we go.
Please no bannerino.
Oh, there's goop. There's
Oh, there we go.
not much of it.
Well, at the moment.
I was thinking this whole bottle would be full.
No.
With bleeding now in process, our juice bottle was filling up rather quickly.
Actually, that much.
Do you reckon Bear Grylls would have a taste of that?
Well, Bear Grylls would have a taste of that.
He's drank worse. Ooh,
Doesn't it, just to let everyone know, that doesn't need to be bled out anymore in the fact that we did it last year.
Yeah, we did actually, yeah, you're right. Now the system has been bled and Easy Bleed has been removed, we needed to test the clutch pedal to make sure it worked perfectly. Today,
You've got a perfect clutch pedal, chap.
I've got a what?
Perfect clutch pedal.
Have you tested the brakes?
We haven't tested the brakes.
You might want to do that, that's what you're in there for. What do you reckon?
Oh, you've got loads. Yeah. No, you've got lots of pedal right at the top.
Alright, cool. So,
woo!
that's it. Well,
Kind of
clutch
bled.
and brakes until we do the brakes properly.
Brakes
Yeah.
checked.
Yeah.
Due to the nature of brake bleeding and the lengthy process required, even with an Easy Bleed, we've opted to do this another time as, frankly, our brakes work fine anyway. Okay, so clutch has now been bled. Does seem to be working fine, so we should actually be able to change gear, which is great. Next, we're going to attack the temperature sensor on the radiator, and hopefully that means no more overheating. A bucket full of coolant was needed for us to drop the coolant into for our hose change.
You're very anxious.
No, it's not going to come out immediately. Christ. Oh, sorry, mate. Stress fire.
Oh no, no.
My ass is stinking.
Minitech biofuels.
One step to greener England. There we go, it's going to come out that way as well.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, she does it.
Come that way.
Well,
This is what I said, it's horrible stuff.
I might need a second one.
Oh, it's coming from that. It's coming up its arm. Yes, amazing. It's going everywhere. It's because it's. Oh! There's so much satisfaction out of that. I love it.
There's more outside of the bucket than there actually is in the bucket right now. Now the coolant had been drained from the system, well, mostly, it was time to remove the pesky old fan temperature sensor that had been plaguing us with overheating issues since we bought this car, with a brand new shiny one that should in theory fix the issue. Getting to this sensor is a bit fiddly as it's in a bit of an awkward location. We actually had to buy a 29mm deep socket in order for us to complete this task without taking off components that were in the way. A ramp is advisable for this task, but I can imagine that you could certainly achieve this at home. New sensor in and all hooked up, it was now time to remove the old lower radiator hose. Okay, so sensor's in now. We've got the top hose here now to remove because it's old.
No, bottom hose.
Bottom hose, sorry. To remove, and you think that this is actually leaking?
Yeah.
So we've got a replacement one of these.
Yeah, we'll clean this up underneath.
Clean it, yeah, that's a good idea.
Did you not put a new thermostat on it anyway?
Yeah, new thermostat's in.
Yeah, so it won't need cleaning.
So we don't have to worry about that. So yeah, once we've got a new hose, that should mean that it is ready to run.
It is.
Right?
We'll have to bleed it out. Yeah.
Bleed out system.
Well, you didn't lose any
It's really exciting, actually.
Yeah, brilliant.
It's really exciting. So let's get to it.
Fortunately, our old radiator hose was fairly compliant and came off with ease.
Old hose.
Oh, lovely.
He's still down there. Waiting patiently.
Interestingly, I think this is actually the same as the one we've got. Like, if you look at it.
No,
But I think it's just
this is
old.
original. It's original, isn't it? Cable ties?
I have cable ties.
Do you?
I do. I have a lot.
Just one cable tie will be spot on.
Now, because I own a Japanese car, I don't get to use them too much, but I have zip ties. So, go to Marty and gonna grab my hoard of zip ties.
Now with the old hose off, we replaced it with our brand new one. This was actually a fairly simple process, so fortunately there weren't too many surprises.
Have you got the other hose clip?
I was filming you, filming him.
Dick dastardly.
It turned out we needed a new Jubilee clip too. Over to Jared.
Right, so we're a bit impromptu currently. I'm in the MR2, as you can see, because we need Jubilee clip for the coolant hose, the bottom hose. We have one which is absolutely stretched beyond belief to its limit. It's not really the right size anyway, so I need to go get a proper one. So whilst they're doing some bits with the gearbox oil, I'm going to run to Halford's and hopefully save the day and get some other bits as well. So hope it goes well. We'll see in a bit. Here, we've made it. Got some Japanese friends in Halfords. I think that's the 300ZX. LX5. Marty.
While we waited, we tackled the air filter.
While Jared is out getting the bits we need to do the gearbox and the radiator, we were actually doing something and not just sitting around waiting to
Although we do like doing that.
We do like doing that, yeah, but we'll get this nice and re-oiled up and we'll put this back on the car later, but we're actually going to keep it off for when the car runs because we want to... We'll explain later. We'll explain later.
The process of applying oil to the air filter is nice and easy, using vertical spray patterns, then followed by large horizontal ones, and then we were done.
Jared has returned from Halfords, and we have a new Jubilee clip. Now,
It's massively oversized.
yeah, quite considerably oversized. So
What
what sizes have we got here, and what did we actually need?
We needed a 80mm and we went for a
85. to 100.
There you go.
There you go, yeah. So not ideal, but that's the only thing they had in stock. That
We can hope it works, can't we?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we did just try it, and it technically does. So.
Yeah. So hopefully it should work. Should
work. Should be in the optimal word.
Jared now on water duties. Ready?
Yeah.
What?
Bloody hose.
There we go.
Reattaching the replacement hose was proving a little stubborn to start with, but in the end, with some admittedly forceful persuasion, the hose did finally attach itself to the water pump. All that was left for us to do was to tighten up the clips, and then hopefully it was ready to go. Or was it?
So what's the situation at the moment then?
It may hold.
You seem kind of a little bit...
Well, we'll see. We'll start it up, and if it leaks...
If it leaks, we have our answer.
Yeah, if it leaks, it leaks.
I reckon we could save it. I reckon that'll work.
You reckon? I don't know.
Maybe, if it was pretty sturdy.
Yeah, but there's a difference of it being sturdy and it actually working.
Okay, so this is the situation. The new, apart from leaky radiator hoses, the new bottom hose for the radiator to water pump is slightly bigger than the OEM one, which is good in the sense that it will hopefully stop not have any damage in the future. But the problem is the Jubilee clips we're trying to attach, and that's what 50 to 70 mil. That's the standard one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 50 to 70 mil, bit too tight, damages the line. And then the one that we've got to replace it, which is the
85 to
100, is a little bit too big, but it does sit on the hose at the moment. So we're going to try it. If it doesn't work, naturally we'll have to turn off the car and just find a replacement Jubilee clip at the right time. Now we're going to be giving the car some power, and we're going to see if it works. Now it's quite exciting because this will be the first time I've personally heard this car start up in over a year. So a little bit emotional. If it works, it's going to be quite a moment. The final steps before the big startup were to get some power into the battery, as it was completely dead for being sat for a year, as well as chucking in the fan fuses to test to see if our new fan sensor was working correctly.
Moment of truth. Ready?
Yeah.
It still feels so bizarre. I've forgotten how cool it sounds. I mean, this is a little bit chuggy at the moment, but oil pressure's fantastic. No oil pressure problems. We're getting a slight warning show up every now and then, but I know that problem. That's the ABS sensors. So sounds a little bit like a tractor at the moment, admittedly, but wow, that's amazing. That's really cool. Really, really cool.
With the engine now running, we could easily hear how noisy our lifters and injectors were, which isn't really ideal, but also it's not uncommon for how long this car has been standing. We decided it might also be a good idea to go out and get some brand new fresh fuel for the car to run through the fuel system, as the current fuel is over a year old, which really isn't good, which arguably may be causing some of the problems as well. So it was time to get in Marty and head to the nearest Shell garage.
Hello there.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so sit rep. We're currently in Marty alongside Mr. Hodges.
Hello.
We're going to go get some new fuel for the car because we think that there's a possibility that, oh look, dead fox.
Nice.
There's a possibility that the fuel may be kind of causing some of the issues with the car. So we're going to go to Shell. We'll get 10 litres or so of nice fresh new fuel, and then we'll see what happens.
So Liam's just gone inside because we're in Shell and it's absolutely tipping it down out here right now. So he's gone in to try to get a jerry can because we don't have one, and hopefully we can then get the Porsche filled up and try and diagnose the weird running issue it has.
Okay, so back from the petrol station. We've got some fuel. Now what we're going to try and do is put some more fuel in the car as well as some Red X just to clean up the fuel system. Should help it run a little bit smoother, hopefully, and clear out some of that old oil and oil. Hope there's no oil in the fuel system. Some of that old fuel, and we'll see if it smoothens out the engine a little bit.
With new fuel in hand, we unscrewed the fuel filler cap and prepared to add some Red X into the fuel. If you're not too sure what Red X is, essentially it's a fuel additive that helps clear out all that nasty build-up inside your car's fuel system, and can even help clean injectors. Pretty good stuff.
I am the teapot man, I come from down your lane, and I can play. What can you play?
Piano, 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 piano.
Why has everybody got an actually decent singing voice?
I haven't got a decent singing voice. Sound like bloody Pavarotti on steroids.
I just screeched to Katy Perry late at night. That's all I can do.
Much happier. Yeah. So, the good news is the noise has gone. Arguably a new one has taken its place, but that is just a belt squeak, so it's not the end of the world. Good progress so far today, so that's pretty good. We may try and get it outside just to run it to see if the gear change is working all flawlessly as it should. The fans work now, which is good, so no more overheating. Bled the clutch is now working, or operable at least, and the engine has turned on, so yeah, it's a pretty special day, to say the least.
So, it was finally time for my Porsche 944 to finally see the light of day in the first time in just over a year. The car, although a little rough around the edges, was running incredibly well. Well, aside the lack of battery power, that is. It felt incredible to finally have this car running and moving after months and months of hard work, which I can only thank you all for joining me on. With test runs sorted, it was time to get the 944 back inside, ready for its next set of upgrades and attention.
That is it for today's video. We hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do leave a like below. Next episode is a bit of an interesting one because we don't necessarily have a plan per se, because it's now running. The majority of the work on the car is done, so I think next video we may try and do the gearbox oil, perhaps, because we needed the correct tool for that. And then potentially, I use the quotation marks, an MOT. Maybe. We'll see. Catch you next time, guys. Take care.